can you ban language, words? How are words offensive? And why should I have to tolerate your interpretation? I'm the one using the word. Ask me how I'm using it. Don't tell me. And if you don't like the way I'm using it, so what? It's my right. It's my freedom of expression. Without that, we're nothing but slaves. My language, so f*** off.
Nerderotic.com. Please subscribe.
Admittedly, I like to pick low-hanging fruit on this channel, and it's about damn time I picked the low-hanging fruit of Rotten Tomatoes. It has been a long time since I did an RT video. I put my playlist right here. I've done quite a few, and my most viewed video is a Rotten Tomatoes Orville video. It almost has 500,000 views. Go ahead and check it out. In that video, I expose, well, the obvious. I expose the critics for the hack shills that they are, and nothing has changed since then, and it's no more evident than with the Dave Chappelle special Sticks and Stones on Rotten Tomatoes getting 17% from 6 critics, and then the audience score comes in, and it's at an unsurprising 99%. Dave Chappelle is an American treasure. He is a man of the people. I don't agree with everything he says, but I agree with the spirit of everything he says, because it is very important to be able to make fun of things. That's when things become normal. More on that in a second, but I do want to go over some of the fan reviews, and I do want to expose some of the cowardly critics who haven't put a review up. You notice that there's only 6 critics there, and, well, I can't really expose them, but I think their silence is deafening. I think a lot of critics agree with what the 17% that we have down here, but they're just too chicken to put their review up because they know Dave Chappelle is the Teflon man. He is the man that can change the course of what is going on in entertainment, change the course of the culture war, so we can start making fun of things, we can start having a sense of humor again, and pulling the stick collectively out of America's ass. Well, the side of America that has a stick up their ass, the SJWs, the NPCs, the protected classes. You know, this grouping up of people. We are all individuals, and we all need to be comfortable in our own skin, and only then can normalization happen however you identify. I personally don't have a problem with anybody. As long as you're not hurting anybody, you can be who you are, identify who you are. You are more than welcome at this channel as long as you believe in the fundamentals of free speech and individuality. First off, we got to give credit where credit is due. Jeremy Johns is the lone positive review. I couldn't help but appreciate the fact that, well, this guy will do it. He'll go there. Not the deepest analysis on that quote, but go to his website, check it out. I will support anybody who supports Dave Chappelle on this one. And we really need to get behind this one because, like I said, it's a paradigm shift. We need much more of this. We need to normalize mockery again because comedy is dead, but it might have been saved by Dave Chappelle. Now, there's others out there who are trying to break through, but 99% of the comedians right now are just orange man jokes. And Dave talks about why he doesn't joke about that stuff. And, well, I can't say I totally agree with him, but it's a good point. I understand his perspective. And again, watch the special if you want to know what it's about. I'm not going to repeat any of his jokes. I will just say I've watched the special twice. I'm going to watch it again. It's one of my favorite all-time comedy specials now. But as you can see here, most of the other critics, well, they fell right in line, being the access media that they are. And, well, the other 5 critics, I'm wondering if they jumped the gun on this one and they might regret putting this review up because, like I said before, I think a lot of critics agree with them, but they decided not to review this. You know, there's only 6 reviews, and this is one of the most talked about things from Netflix and the most talked about comedy specials I've seen in a long time. Like dropping in on a rascally uncle who doesn't know or doesn't care how much he's disappointed you. Inku Kang from Slate. This is a top critic. I hope I disappoint the hell out of you every day because I would rather disappoint you than disappoint myself. Sticks and Stones is designed to generate inflammatory coverage. It's a symbolic cycle with no end in sight, and it's become the last thing a beloved provocateur should ever want to be: predictable. The only thing predictable is your response, Allison, from The Ringer of all places. Enough of these hacks, let's get to the people. Tyler T, 5 stars, great modern day social commentary. Dave really brings comedy back to life. He has been missed, and to a very welcome, triumphant return at that. Ibrahim K, 5 stars. I was laughing from beginning to end. Dave's take on today's society is refreshing. His ability to not hold back and tell stories is unmatched. Despite what the critics may say, I, as well as the vast majority of people who watched this special, enjoyed it thoroughly and cannot recommend it enough. Benjamin C, 5 stars, absolutely hilarious, and does a great job of making fun of all the crazies on the left. This is what the world needs, not the hate and racism of the left. Benjamin C, well played, sir. And these are just the first 3 I picked. I'm just going to go through a few here. Sophie, 5 stars, absolutely hilarious. I've been a fan of his for years, but this side-splitting laughs from start to finish, double thumbs up. 5 stars. William R, haven't laughed this hard in years. Eric K, 4 stars, controversial, thought-provoking, but above all, funny. Definitely not for those who are easily offended, which is most of the people we are talking about, particularly the critics, the access media, and the cancel culture on Twitter. Peter R, 5 stars. He pissed off all the right people, like the aforementioned cancel culture on Twitter. Fabio G, 5 stars, the Richard Pryor of this generation, giving one of his most vivid performances with the ambiguity that characterizes him. And mind you, all of these are from 30 minutes ago prior to recording. Joseph B, 5 stars. This was the greatest stand-up movie I've ever seen. I'm not even joking. The liberal mainstream media is so stupid and they are saying this is so bad, just proving his point. It's hilarious. The impression he did at the beginning proves exactly how these people respond. They all try to control the narrative. They want to tell you what is okay to laugh at or what is okay to be funny. I've never seen critics score something at 17% and audience at 99%. Well, I can point to Doctor Who. That's pretty damn close. Don't worry though. Just like YouTube, they will start to silence the voices they don't want to hear. These companies are trying to silence any voice they don't like, even reviews, comments, everyone. Our free speech is at stake. Dave Chappelle's stand-up is important because it's about being able to say what is true and funny, even though it may upset those in power. I support Dave, as do I, as should you. Not to should you or anything, but if you're about free expression, free speech, being able to make and do whatever you like, it is not my responsibility if you are offended. Dave said that within the special. That is entirely up to you. I don't have that kind of power. You give it to me if I upset you. And well, while I enjoy the free rent in some people's heads, it's quite empty in there, but you really could fix that quite easily with being okay with yourself. And just to be clear, I'm not talking about abuse. I'm talking about joking and mockery. And if you take that as abuse, well, again, that's up to you. Each individual has their own threshold for being offended. The problem is people are using being offended as a tool for power, to cancel people, to ruin people's lives. And this needs to stop now. No, I don't want some government entity or some giant corporation to put down some rules. I want us to know where our own personal line is. And, you know, if somebody crosses the line and offends you on some social media network or platform, turn it off. Just simply turn it off. You don't have a right to it, and you don't have the right to not be offended. We have said this over and over again, and this is part of being an adult. The reason I support Dave Chappelle and this freedom of expression is because he is an equal opportunity offender. Yes, I have complained a lot about the one-sided politics within comic books and films and TV shows because they are not an equal opportunity offender. They feel like there's some protected classes, but there's other people they feel free to abuse within their narrative, making making it propaganda. If they were equal opportunity offenders, I wouldn't have a problem with it. If Doctor Who was neutral in any way, shape, or form, I wouldn't have a problem if they showed the other side once in a while. But they don't. That's the difference here. That is why we need to support Dave Chappelle. And we need to talk about the critics and their hypocrisy. They certainly have their right to their freedom of expression, but we know their expression is being used for access, and it's not genuine. If the access media and critics actually did their job, were neutral, would, I don't know, not constantly take one side on everything and be so damn predictable with their responses, especially to David Chappelle, then I wouldn't complain about him as much. You know, I wonder how many of them made it to the end, to the epilogue, and the story of Daphne. I'm sure you guys all know that because I think that is a great lesson in normalization. Daphne identifies differently than most people. But Daphne is very comfortable in her skin. Daphne had a sense of humor. Dave was even wondering if he should make jokes about Daphne's identification, but he ran with them anyway, and she ended up loving him. She had a chat with him. She wants to become a comedian. And, well, she's on the right path because she can laugh at herself. She is comfortable in her skin, and I applaud that, and I respect that, and I respect Dave for doing the jokes in front of her, and I'm very glad she laughed about him because that's how normalization happens. And of course, that flew completely over all of the critics' heads. So I think this is actually an important show. I usually don't apply that to art. I think things that are important are water, food, shelter. But this is an important moment in culture. I'm glad it happened. I support Dave. I'm going to watch it one more time tonight. So if you like this video, if you like my freedom of expression, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you don't, well, hey, thanks for listening this long. Thanks for the click. In the meantime, have a great day, and may the free folks sing songs of your greatness.
Nerderotic.com. Please subscribe.